What's up, everybody? Check out my new cup. Isn't this cute? A student got me this cup from last year, one of my second graders, and I'm just loving it so much. So I wanted to share you guys. It's one of those sparkle cups. Anyway, there's my cup. I am kind of feeling a little under the weather today. I am pregnant right now, so I am just enjoying my summer and napping when I need to nap. I actually just got up from a nap. Yeah. And that's what I love about VIP Kid. I'm not teaching during the day, so I can just chill. If I'm not feeling very good, like, a quick class from my house in my pajamas, I can manage that. So anyway, other than that, I'm doing pretty good, and I'm excited to share with you guys how you can pass your interview the first time. Fix my camera a little bit. There we go. You very well can do that. As a matter of fact, I know many people that do. I don't think I really know anybody who hasn't passed the interview. But there are some tips that will really impress the interviewer. Yeah, that's what they call the mentor person on the other end in Beijing, who is your interviewer, but they do speak English. You don't have to worry about that. That would be really weird and confusing. I'm looking down because I have some notes down here that I've written down. I don't want to miss anything. That's just the teacher and me. I'm like, I'm just going to keep looking up and down. Okay, so real quick, before we get started today, many of you are watching this from my Facebook group. Many of you are watching this on YouTube and you've never seen me before in your life. Or somebody sent you this video, or I sent you this video, I don't know. If you are watching this and you do not have a mentor teacher who you are signing up with, or you have already signed up with, there are actually links out there that you can sign up for VIP Kid. And it's not under it's not with a mentor teacher, with the referral code. So if that happened to you and you would like to add me as your mentor teacher, you can do that. And I have the steps below this video to help you with that. And then, of course, there's a link below that you can click to sign up, and you're automatically in my roster of people who have signed up. Couple things that's really nice about that, and I like to say this at the beginning of every video. Number one, it will automatically put your name into a system where I can log in and see how you're doing. I can see what step or what stage you're in your hiring process, so I can be like, oh, I need to contact that person. They passed their interview. This is what they're doing next. Oh, they didn't pass this. I need to contact them and give them more tips, or give them some help, or ask them, what do you need feedback on? What do you need help with? Not having that can be really, you feel kind of alone in this process, and you don't want to feel alone. You want to have a family of people around you, and you want to have somebody that's been through it before, and I've been through it recently, so I can give you my best, very fresh tips that worked for me. And then number two, when you get beyond the hiring process, you're still going to have questions. Like, I even still have questions. So I contact my mentor teacher. And number three, there are a lot of mentor teachers out there. And there's actually, I can think of 5 that are really well known on YouTube. And one of them is mine. I won't say her name. And she's fabulous. She's put tons of YouTube videos up on her channel telling you how to do everything. And I still encourage people to go watch other people on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you who to watch. The problem with somebody who has been referring and teaching for VIP Kid for a while is they have so many referrals that they kind of lose track of talking to people like one-on-one. So I have reached out to mine. She has, responded to me very nicely, but I do know of other people who are like, I can never get a hold of mine. I think she's just a famous VIP Kid teacher, and she is tough to contact. So when you'd have that many people, I'm not surprised. So choosing somebody a little bit more fresh who just got hired but has been teaching enough to give you some tips and really tell you what it's like, I feel like that's a little bit better. So I definitely can help you guys. I think I'm done with my rant now, but I just wanted to make sure that, number one, you guys are choosing a mentor teacher, either me or someone else you know, and number two, you understand why. And right now, I want you to pause this video, because before we go into everything else, you need to be taking notes. So just like me, you need to get a notebook out and you need to start writing down what I'm about to tell you guys, because it's easier than rewatching the video 100 times. I'm going to walk you through the interview step by step of what actually happened, so you know what to expect, and things you need to do on the slides, props you need to use on the slides, what TPR is, which some of you are like, oh, what's that? TPR is total physical response. So I'm going to talk about when you should use that, when you should not use that. This will be a long video, so sit back in your pajamas like I am right now and enjoy the video. Okay, we're ready now. So, your interview has arrived. You've passed your application screening, and you are doing a live interview with a other mentor teacher. So, the very beginning of your interview, I don't know why I'm looking at my notes about this, because I know this. The very beginning of your interview, you are going to be asked some questions about your experience. So you've already put these things in your application, but they just want to hear you talk about it. So when they said, "Hi, Teacher Miranda, can you please tell us about your experience with children?" And then they were like, they do a lot of smiling. So of course I'm smiling the whole time, and I'm like, yes, I have teaching. Didn't say don't do that. Did not say yeah. I said, yes, I have teaching experience with children from the ages of 5 to 10. I have been teaching for 3 years. I love teaching. I have a lot of experience being a babysitter as well. I was a camp counselor all before I became a teacher. I taught all curriculum within the classroom, and I can't wait to join VIP Kid to add to my experience with teaching. And then, you smile. Now, did you notice that I was using my hands, and I was really I was 3 years, I was really trying to engage the mentor teacher who was listening to me, because they don't want somebody, sitting here like, yeah, I've been around kids a couple times. Yeah, they don't want that. They want you to be excited. Get in the webcam, get excited and tell them your experience, because they want to see that you're confident that you have experience. Now, if you're not a teacher and you don't have teaching experience, but you have teaching or you have experience with children, get excited about that. Tell them your experience that you've had. They may, and I believe, excuse me, I believe they did ask me, why do you want to join VIP Kid? Why do you want to teach with VIP Kid? So I really kind of had to think on the spot on that one, but I believe my answer, I hope I'm telling you guys what my answer was. I think this was it. I said, I love teaching, and I am excited to explore the world of online teaching, and I can't wait for the experience to happen for me and for the student. I think I said something like that, but they were like, good, okay, let's get started. And then they were ready to go. I think I just spent 5 minutes talking to you about that. It only takes about 2 minutes, and then you're done. You don't want to talk to them for 5 minutes about what your experience is. Make it brief. They just need to hear that, and they just need that. So you go into your video or your interview. They do ask you, are you ready? So they're not just going to say, okay, let's go. they say, okay, are you ready to start your interview? Are you ready to start your demo lesson? Because you're already in your interview. I think I need more sleep or more coffee. I don't know. So they ask you if you're ready, and then you go ahead and get into the lesson. So they give you some options. There's a little button where you click documents in this interview room that you're in. It's very easy to find this button, and you will open either demo lesson A or demo lesson B. So it's all the same thing. Each lesson is same timing, looks very similar. I was advised, and you will be advised to practice both. You will have access to both of these lessons before, so you don't worry. Definitely prepare for both. And once they say, okay, today you're going to be teaching lesson A, or sometimes, like mine said, which one do you want to teach today? And I was like, yes, they let me pick which one, which was nice. So I picked lesson A, and they immediately turn into a 5-year-old. So they change their speech. You literally have to pretend that you are teaching an actual class now. So, they just sit there and they wait for you to get started, and they're smiling. It feels very relaxing. It feels fun. And it's a fun interview. Like, it was the best interview I've ever had in my life for any job, because I was smiling the whole time, and we had a great conversation after. So it's great. Okay, so you jump in, intro slide. So you're on the very first slide. The intro slide usually has like the name of the lesson. My feelings is the one that I'm going to demonstrate this time. So it'll be on that slide. And that slide is where you want to say, hello, my name is Teacher Miranda. What's your name? My name is Max. My name is Max. Good. Max, how old are you? 5 years old. I am 5 years old. Good. Let's get started. Okay, so it's so funny to watch myself do that, especially with this wild hair I got going on. So talk extremely slow. You're talking to a 5-year-old. That is a beginner with VIP Kid. Very, very little English, but all they love is a teacher that is smiling, talking slow, and using TPR. So TPR is total physical response. So instead of saying, hello, my name is teacher blah, 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 what's your name? That's very boring, and you're talking to a 5-year-old, so you have to get excited. This is a slide I would not use props on. Like, I have puppets and stuff. I wouldn't introduce puppets on the intro slide. I would just do lots of hand gestures, like, what's your name? Name, like name tag, that's something that I've done and other people do. When you have a question, like, make your body look like you have a question. When you want them to say something or repeat what you said, point to your mouth, okay? Otherwise, they don't understand, like, was I supposed to repeat what she said? Because you don't always want them to repeat everything you say. Finger to your mouth, cup your ear. When you're cupping your ear, you're telling them that they need to talk, okay? But if you just go like this, they won't, you want to make sure you point to your mouth before you do that. Sorry, that got a little funky there. TPR seems very intimidating to some people. Comes very natural to me because I'm a teacher, and it will come natural to you even if you are not a teacher. Some people it doesn't always come as natural to, but you will pick up on it, and it becomes very like second nature to you. So, I do need to back up real quick. There was something I did forget to tell you guys. So when you do your interview, and obviously with teaching, you need to have a headset, okay? So mine I got on Amazon, and it was like $15. I can't really remember. My husband bought it for me, I think, for my Christmas or something when I was thinking about being a VIP kid teacher. Amazon, you gotta have this for your interview. They will ask you, do you have a headset? And then you need to have 2 props. So like, it may be something on a popsicle stick or a clothespin, or it could be a whiteboard. This is considered a prop, a puppet. I have a printout of a pencil to show a student to draw a line. You have to have 2 props in your interview, so just make sure whatever you decide to do, you have 2. Okay, back to the intro slide. You've done that. You say, okay, let's go. So now you're at your second slide, and this is the reward slide. And the reward slide is, it's interactive, so the kids can move things around. Some teachers use the interactive reward slides, and they don't do a physical reward like what I have behind me. My last class yesterday, I did stars, which I've got a bunch of different ones I can show you, but I call these like physical rewards, and then the interactive rewards are different. I need to take a breath, I'm talking too fast. For your interview, you need to, I would use the physical rewards just because that will show them that, you know, you can do that. Everybody knows people can do the interactive. However, you do in this lesson, and many of the lessons need to teach something on this slide just to make sure the student knows how to do it. So I'm going to use my little pencil, but on that slide you can teach, even though you're not going to use it, you can teach the student to draw a line. Maybe there is a soccer goal in the soccer ball, and you say, draw a line. Where is the ball going to go? Draw a line. That way they can practice drawing a line, because later in the lesson they're going to need to draw a line to something, and you want to make sure they know how to do that. Some lessons it's drag and drop. I always pick up my mouse and I say drag and drop, and they get that. Some people say drag and drop. But on this lesson, and I believe all the other interview lessons that are very similar to this, just show them draw a line and just make sure they can do that, and then you're done. And then if you don't, I printed this online and laminated it, but if you don't have a pencil, you can actually take a pencil or just use your finger and just say draw a line. And you can even demonstrate drawing a line yourself, because the teachers can draw on the slide and so can they. We're just different colors. We're red, they're blue. So you could do that. The other purpose of this slide is to introduce your reward system. Okay, so for example, I will just kind of show you what mine is, and I will pretend that I'm introducing this to the student. Max, when you do a good job, you get a star. So, I mean, it's very basic. You just have to introduce what the student is going to get. Now, your mentor teacher on the other end isn't just sitting there like this. They literally go, yay! And they get really excited and they, yay, star! Whatever it is. They're trying to show you, like, what a student would look like. Sorry, I'm looking at my dog. He's just hanging out in here. Being very good, very quiet. So are your reward slides done? Slide number 3 is the warm-up slide. So the warm-up slide usually is a song or a poem. I sing pretty much every time, unless I don't know the song that I could sing the words to. Sometimes there's songs on there, they say, sing to this version of that song. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I don't sing. Sometimes the students just want to read it to you because it's their warm-up, so you can do that too. This is kind of your decision. But in your interview, I would highly suggest having you clap through the poem or the song. You don't have to sing. I did, but you do not have to sing, and the students don't have to sing even in the real classroom. And you don't want to make your interviewer do that either. Once you get in there, especially before your interview and you're looking at your stuff, you can decide what you want to do with that. So once that's over, you go to slide number 4, and slide number 4 is introducing a sound. So let's say your sound is the letter D. Sorry, this is backwards for you guys. It won't be in your interview or when you're teaching. Try to get away from that glare. Let's say you are teaching the letter or the sound for the letter D, okay? And you are showing them the sound. In VIP Kid, you want to make sure your phonics is correct. You don't want to say like for M, m. Like that's not actually correct. It's So you have to kind of make sure that you are up to date with the sounds of letters. I know that sounds so silly, but I watched a YouTube video before I started teaching VIP Kid that taught all the sounds of the letters, because I actually was like, wow, I think even in my own classroom I was saying that wrong. We tend to like put our own slang in there for letter sounds, so just make sure that whatever letter is in your lesson, that you really make sure you know that letter ahead of time. I write the letter on a whiteboard, and then I say the sound like this, and then I ask. So, Max, you listen. You listen. Okay. D, d. Good. D, D. Good job, Max. So, thumbs up, that they know that means they did good, and you're smiling. Even if they don't know what good job means, that's good. And your interviewer will like it that you are going through the name of the letter, the sound of the letter. Something I didn't do just now that you do want to do, so write this down. You're going to want to have the student repeat the letter sound at least 2 times. Okay, so I only had them do it 1 time, but they need to do it 2 times. So it's okay to repeat yourself again, and they will just do it again. That's okay. So you found the sound. Now you're on to slide 5, and that it's all about blending the sound. So this is a lot how these lessons go. They just kind of build like this. Blending the sound. So with these slides, I highly suggest you use, and the previous slide, I highly suggest you use a whiteboard, or this is a whiteboard you can buy at the Dollar Tree for $1. Okay, so I highly suggest you use a whiteboard. This one's magnetic, and I think this one is too. If you don't want to write your letters, you can use magnetic letters. They love that. This next slide basically is just blending the letter with other words. So let's say your letter that you get is M. So I would have the letter M written down for the student, okay? And then I would add an ending to that word, okay? So I'm going to show you guys something too that you can do besides putting it together, because you are blending it. So you can draw slashes like this if you want to show like we're putting the M with the N. So I always start with the student and I say, good. N. Good job. Man. Good. Man. Good job. So blending is just about putting things together, and you do want to break it apart for the kids. In your interview, you can do that. You can also clap the letters, and then the word, you can make your word like that. I don't typically use any other props on these slides. It's strictly writing, showing with magnetic letters, something like that. Okay, on to your next slide. This is a long video, but I know how helpful this is going to be to you guys. So slide number 6, whether you're doing the My Feelings lesson or you're doing another lesson, slide 6 is usually the core objective for the lesson. So the lesson's about my feelings. So they're learning about happy, sad, like they're learning that stuff in this lesson. So some props. Here's some props you can do for this slide. You can print off emojis. They love emojis. You can hold up an emoji. Stuff that I print off, I don't have emojis printed off, but I put them with a clothespin so I can hold them. You know, hold them in front of my face, like happy. I can do that. Or you can simply draw them, and that is what I'm going to do. And I believe I did that for my interview. I did not have 2D emojis. So I would draw a face, and I would say, whoops, happy, happy. Good. Sad, sad. Good. I am happy. Good job, Max. I am sad. Good. So, I'm really trying to talk slow. I actually would talk slower in the interview. I'm talking faster. But you really have to talk slow when you're pretending like you're teaching a 5-year-old who doesn't know much English. So that slide, you can have fun with that. Just make sure it's all about feelings, emojis, drawing. You can use characters for maybe like, I don't know what you would use for that. I would stick with smileys, emojis, or drawing. Not going to go beyond that. Your next slide is meeting Dino and Lily. So Dino is a, this is Dino right here. He's kind of the VIP kid mascot, and they love him. So as soon as you say Dino, they're like, yay! Like they know what that is. I think it must be all over China or something. So there really is no props for this slide. It's a very interactive looking page, and they can meet Dino, and there's really nothing to show you on that slide. It's very self-explanatory. If you haven't noticed these slides and these lessons, especially this lesson and the level 2-3 lessons, which is what I'm certified in, they're very, very easy. So a lot of my referrals are like, is this going to be like hard? Are these going to be like really hard math problems? And like, no. Not unless you want to get certified in some higher levels, but you might, and that's fine. Those are fun. But these lessons are very easy, so it would be very hard for you to get any of these things wrong. 2 more slides, and then we are done. So slide number 8 is, shooting the basketball. So you're showing the student, I don't have a basketball, unfortunately, in front of me, but you're showing the student how to shoot the ball on the slide, and this slide's purpose is truly for fun. Like there's no words on the slide. However, you do want to have the student talk. The goal in your interview, your mock lesson, your mock class, and all of your other classes the rest of the time teaching is you want the students to talk more than you. So one of my feedback tips when I got my interview, I did pass, but she said make sure that you are talking less than the student. So that's just something you want to make sure you do. So on this slide, you could say, what is this? Ball. Good. This is a ball. So you want them to go and talk in a full sentence. So instead of them just saying, ball, good, and then moving on, they could talk so much more if you put it in a full sentence for them. And you can get creative with that. This is a slide where your your props can get really fun. You can be like, can you help Tiger throw the ball? Yes, good. And you can, introduce your puppet. You can just have lots of fun with it. I've even seen teachers have a basketball and they had like a hoop or something and they were like showing the student like they could do that. I've seen people wear funny hats on this slide. Like, it's supposed to be fun and amp up their energy during that part of the lesson. Making sounds like whoosh, like with a ball going in a basket. All of that stuff is really good to do on this slide. Really make it interactive for them. Let's see. The last slide is the goodbye slide. So that was a very fast, I know my video isn't fast, but that was it's a very quick lesson, and sometimes you don't finish, and that's okay. In your interview, they're like, it's okay, I'm going to stop you there. You did so good. Like, all of our classes are 25 minutes long. So they're not going to be upset if you don't get through the whole lesson. However, these lessons are shorter for the interview, so most people do. I think I was one slide off maybe, but I don't know. It's okay. Your last slide is your goodbye slide. So the worst thing you could possibly do is be like, oh, am I done? It says goodbye. No, you are still fully in the lesson with the student until that mentor teacher says, okay, teacher, I'm going to stop you there. Okay, so keep on going and keep on pretending you're teaching a 5-year-old until they tell you to stop. So when I have my goodbye slides, even in my classes now, and I did this with my interview, I always say something along the lines of, it was so much fun to meet you today, Max. Did you have fun? I had fun. Good. I had fun too. I hope to see you next time. Okay, so I really make it clear that I can't wait to see you next time. And then sometimes I get my puppets out. Sometimes I get my Minnie and Mickey out and I say, goodbye, Max, or, see you next time, whatever that may be. You don't want to just say goodbye. You want to extend it a little bit. That's pretty much it. And then your interview's done, and they will probably give you about 3 or 4 minutes of feedback, and they will ask you if you have a pen and paper. So I was like, yeah. What do I need to work on? And they're so nice. Like, even if they give you things that you need to work on, I passed, and I think I had 3 or 4 things she wanted me to work on. But that's okay. That they give you so much feedback, and listen to their feedback because it does help you. I think I am going to end this video. This is the longest video I've ever made. And I'm sure I'll make longer ones, but that is pretty much a walkthrough of what your interview looks like, props you need to be using, TPR you need to be using, how you need to be doing reward systems. That's pretty much it. Your interview is not bad, and you guys will all pass and do awesome. I would love to help you. I would love to be your mentor coach. Please reach out to me and let me know if you're interested, if you need help. If you have questions on the video, comment below. I will see you guys later. Bye.